Alright, so here we are, fuel system time. I received just about everything and went to put it together, started making my hoses. Followed a DIY from a CRSX member who installed theirs on a supercharged RSX, and found out that in the parts list they list 20 feet of 6A in line. This is insufficient. It is not long enough, especially for a turbocharged car. You'll have to reroute your fuel line a little bit longer to go around the turbo, the manifold, the exhaust, all that stuff you're going to have to miss. And I think the safest way to do that is to go toward the driver's side of the car, and then make it a little longer, bring it toward the front of the car, and then bring it across. My setup here differs just slightly. I have my fuel pressure regulator directly mounted to my fuel rail with my fuel gauge all in one little assembly here, so when I'm doing my adjustments I can do it all in one place, and just makes it nice and sort of clean. I like it. Works for me. If you don't like it, fine. The 20 feet is enough to get one of your lines, but when you go to run the return, or the other line, whatever one you don't run, it's not long enough. It's about 4 feet too short. Coming out of the fuel rail is the supply line here. That's the one I started with, and so I was able to complete that line. It's the one on the outside. It runs down here to my fuel filter, and then out to the end where that'll actually connect to my fuel pump, and it's pretty much two length. It goes maybe 4 or 5 inches of free play, but in general it's pretty much two length. Now down here, I've gone ahead and laid out 2 more hoses. This one is what's left over, what was left, one solid piece from the 20-foot length that I paid about $110 for. It's somewhere between 8 and 9 feet. So I went to run that back to my fuel tank as the return line, and got just about to where the fuel filter was mounted underneath the car and ran out of hose. This still has about 4 feet to go to make it back to the fuel tank. Not enough hose. Pretty upset. Now I could have gone ahead and put a hose end on here, got another 4 or 5 foot section of hose end on both ends of that, and put a coupler in here. But I kind of overreacted and went out and bought a whole new hose. Spent another $100. And I still, no matter what, I have this $40 section of hose that I can't really use, unless I put a splice in the middle. So went out and bought this. This is 15 feet. Brand new hose, one solid piece, goes all the way from the fuel rail, plenty long enough to go to the end of this one, plus about 3 or 4 feet of slack. So I'm guessing 25 feet is about exactly what you would need. You could almost certainly get away with 25 feet if you were conservative in how much extra slack you ran, even running a turbo setup. That's a guess. I'm running, I don't know, I'll have to measure it all out and see, but anyway, that's where I'm at on that. If you're running a turbo, and especially just make sure that you pay attention. There are multiple DIYs. One of them mentions 20 feet. 20 feet is not sufficient. It's not enough length. Go with at least 25 feet. And if you're getting it by the foot, hey man, get 26. All right, guys.